Homeless encampment near SoFi Stadium cleared away ahead of Super Bowl. So this was last year, and this was in California, in Los Angeles. It says Dawn Taki is among the tens of thousands who live in the streets of Los Angeles. Her encampment under the 405 freeway, where she had been staying for 2 years, was recently cleared in advance for Sunday's Super Bowl at nearby SoFi Stadium. They just came and cleaned us out and took everything. I know because of the Super Bowl, they just pushed us aside because we're homeless. That ain't right. The cleanup was one of many that took place, in Los Angeles County as the city prepares to host the matchup between the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. Some housing advocates say local leaders are trying to hide the homelessness as they make little headway in easing the homelessness crisis. And a lot of times people, Sabby, were talking about how there was a lot of this same thing that was being done in Qatar when it came to the World Cup, and how people were being exploited by the World Cup in order to make the area look presentable
Yep.
for the visitors. And you can just, expound on that and why is that so problematic?
It also happens for the Olympics too, by the way, when we have Olympics, like when they had Olympics in Atlanta, same thing. Like they get rid of like what they consider to be, I guess, like the poverty visuals. They get rid of those people, or they have those people move.
Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up, let me see if I can put this in without slowing things down. That's not what I wanted. I had this link already set up. Oop. And there's a video that I wanted to share as well. And I'll get this set up. But yeah, so there's a lot of people who are pushed out, and a lot of times people don't truly realize to the extent of how many people are displaced because of these huge sporting events. And the fact is that they bring billions, not millions, billions of dollars. And this is more of just the real world type of danger that happens to people who are homeless, who are within these cities. Now, just to let you guys know, it's going to be in Arizona this year. I forgot the name of the city. Hang on.
I think they've hosted it there before. I think they have. I have to double check, but I noticed it says "Welcome to Inglewood" in the background. For those who are not aware, Inglewood is a neighborhood, one of those Los Angeles neighborhoods, but it's predominantly African American. But that's been changing now too because of gentrification.
Yeah. So this year is going to be in Glendale, Arizona, but last year it was basically in Inglewood, California. And this gentleman, who's from Germany, actually shows what has really been going on, what you don't see in a lot of corporate media. So we'll just take a look at here.
Beautiful Inglewood, California, the city of champions. And maybe the Rams going to be champions pretty soon. Who knows? See? The city of champions. And by the way, shout out to Paul, my friend. He made that sign. You did a good job, Paul. Thank you. Who doesn't know Randy's Donuts right here in Inglewood? The world famous Randy's since 1952. The sign is over here. And the donut is here.
I just want to give attention to this because it's kind of funny that they could have just kept the Randy's Donuts the same, and it's famous. Everybody knows what it looks like.
Yep.
And they probably still would have got the same amount of business, but they had to make it look like a Pepsi logo.
Right, because Pepsi was one of the sponsors. They had to please the advertisers here for the Super Bowl. This this image here, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Randy's Donuts has been featured in so many different movies and TV shows. So it is an iconic place.
Mm-hmm. And the funny part is, it was actually in Iron Man 2 where you have Iron Man laying inside the donut while eating a
Yep.
donut. So it's like, why do you need to do this for Pepsi when you're already an icon in itself? You know?
Yep. Yep.
So that's just capitalism for you. But let's continue.
Yeah, but what happened to it? It used to be brown. Remember on Iron Man 2? He was sitting right inside the donut. I think they just changed it for the Super Bowl.
There it is.
Because of Pepsi. Money, 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 money. Look at all the delicious donuts you can get. Mm-mm. They even have Pepsi donuts. You know what time it is? It's Rams time.
This is just sad. That's just sad. God, these corporations, they make me sick. Anyway. Goodness.
Well, the businesses don't have to do it if they don't want to. But they want to.
But the thing is that they know there's going to be a whole lot of influx of money, if they do. So
that's true.
Yeah.
And all this is also in Inglewood. And in less than 3 weeks, down the way is the SoFi Stadium. We're going to know who's going to be the Super Bowl winner. But is it just a coincidence that they start cleaning up the streets so the rest of the United States, when they come and visit, don't see that LA has a homeless problem? Or maybe it was just time for the homeless people to move. That's what the city says. So we don't know. We try to find out what the problem was. Notice of major cleanup right here at the airport in Inglewood. And today, they just cleaned this whole area. It's been full of homeless encampments. This is the rest that's left. And it's all going to be cleaned up because all the people that are coming from the airport for the Super Bowl weekend, they're going to see all the homeless people. And that's what I tried to clean up.
This is what they do. So when you come there as a visitor for the Super Bowl, you don't see the real city. You don't see the real Inglewood, So he letting you know, like any other time, they don't even clean up this area.
Yeah. And, there's a question that I wanted to ask. Hey, Rome.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey. Good to see you.
Yeah. I wanted to jump in because he basically said what I was going to say. I was like, all right, fuck it. Because I've been to California. It is nothing like that. It's nothing like that.
Yeah. I'll be continuing with the video, just making sure that it finish buffering, but let's go.
The people that were living here, they got a 72-hour notice that they have to leave because they were illegally camping on state property.
And where did those people go?
It was also said on the news that they provided over 40 vouchers for hotel rooms. It's right here on Century and La Cienega. Anthony, is that okay to put you on YouTube?
Sure, yeah, why not?
What do you think? Why did they start cleaning up this area?
Because the Super Bowl, they even told us that it was the Super Bowl. It was not even, for our health or anything like that. But they cleaned up underneath the bridge yesterday on the 405 bridge. And the on-ramp and the off-ramp, they cleaned that up. And basically, La Cienega, they cleaned up. And First Avenue is still a mess. So that's the only place we're allowed to be at right now because they can't see it by the plane.
Okay.
That's the only reason why they took out everybody from the bridge and then the highway part.
I heard they gave out over 40 vouchers to people. They stay right there to stay in hotels. Did you get a voucher?
No, I didn't get a voucher. They didn't even come to me about vouchers, and they gave out gas, money, certificate for gas. I didn't get any.
This area was full of RVs, I heard, right?
No, this was all tents. RVs were over there on First Street. but this had a few. They had like probably 3 of them,
Okay.
3 RVs.
So they're gonna clean this up later on this week,
they
or
were supposed to come and pick this up like yesterday. They said they were coming by. I was here yesterday again, collecting bottles and cans.
and this is what normally the people would see if they drive from the airport to the stadium, right?
Yes, for sure. And voice a lot.
Yeah, and the thing is that a lot of these people who are in this position, and I find it funny how people will talk about, oh man, we got to clean this area up, we got to make this place look better, and it's like, I actually have an idea how to clean it up and make it better. Just give people housing, because if you give them housing, then they won't be out there, so you won't have to spend the money to clean it up. And all that money that goes into cleaning it up could have actually went into people actually having housing.
Yep.
Like what? Why is that such a controversial statement? Savvy, Rome?
I was going to say, like, notice how he said that they cleaned it up because of the Super Bowl and they gave them vouchers.
Mm-hmm.
But if it wasn't for the Super Bowl, they wouldn't have given them vouchers. Just have a hotel room to stay in. I just want people to really put that into perspective. They didn't even care that they were on the streets until the Super Bowl. It was announced that the Super Bowl was coming there. Other than that, like, they would have just not given them vouchers. You see what I mean? Like, it's just I don't know, man. I don't know. I want people to think about, like, not just the homeless people that are being displaced, like when these types of events happen, because like I said, it's not just the Super Bowl. It happens for the Olympics. It happens for any like big concert event. I've seen it happen as well. Like something like Coachella or whatever, like they'll do the same thing. But I want people to also think about the fact that this Super Bowl could not take place if it wasn't for the workers. And I don't mean the artists that are going to be performing and the football players. I'm talking about the workers that you don't get to see, who work behind the scenes and work overtime to make sure that this event takes place.
Yep. Absolutely. Rome?
I just find it heartbreaking that that the people like themselves will overlook this type of shit. Like this reminds me of the clown in the circus theory. Like you get like they just throwing clowns out in the middle of a circus while the world's burning and nobody's paying attention. It's like everybody just overlooking all these homeless people, looking over all this corruption. And just like, yeah, show me the clowns, show me the clowns, show me the clown throw the football, show me the clown tackle each other. But nobody gives a fuck what actually goes on in the real world, man. It's so heartbreaking. Like when they gave out 40 vouchers. 40? If y'all been to fucking LA, y'all been to Inglewood, there are thousands, hundreds and thousands of people out there on the streets, from the freeways to the parks, in front of the libraries, the steps in front of Walmart. They everywhere. 40 vouchers. And how many, like, oh man, it's so heartbreaking. Not only I'm only hurt not because of them, because they're going to do what they're going to do. These capitalists are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to make their money. They're going to find ways to make their money. But the people aren't paying attention. That's what pisses me off the most. They're stepping over these people's lives. They're overlooking what these people were before. I had the privilege to talk to the people, some homeless people out there in California. A lot of those people were rich before, middle class. They had something. They were somebody. They had office jobs. You know, they was somebody back in the days, and now all we look at them as a homeless person. You know, nobody cares what happens to these people. We got to get our head out of the fucking game and put it in the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Get your head out of football. Get your head out of, like, I'm not talking about an NFL boycott, NBA boycott. Y'all niggas gonna watch that shit anyways. What I'm saying is there are more important things in this world than watching motherfuckers give each other CTEs or break each other ankles and shit like that. We really have to get our people housing. We have to get our people rehabilitation, so they won't go back to the streets. Even if we do get them housing, they always have somewhere to go, whether that be homeless, their home or rehabilitation centers. But California has more than enough money to do it. They won't do it because they are they're capitalists, you know, and they just won't help the people, man. But we got to be there for the people. And this remind me, if any of y'all out there in California that wants to run my clinic, please DM me on on Twitter. I have a small tent clinic going on out there for the homeless people. We're going to be giving away clean needles, condoms, antibiotics, stuff like that. Try to keep the people clean. Try to be there for the people.
Yeah. There's some more that I wanted to show as far as this video is concerned. And this really solidifies exactly, a lot of what's going on. And just shows that, the displacement that a lot of these people go through.
I'm here on top of the Hollywood Casino, and right behind me, you see the beautiful SoFi Stadium, home of the Chargers and the Rams. And hopefully the Rams are going to win. I know there's some people that are going to be mad at me when I say that, but of course, this is LA. Why not bring it home to LA? The beautiful SoFi Stadium opens its doors on September 8, 2020. It's the most expensive stadium ever built, $5.5 billion. And as you can see, they're setting everything up for February 12th, the Super Bowl. We'll see who's going to win. Good luck to every team.
Did that motherfucker say 5.5 billion? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
I mean, it will make money for the businesses in the area. Like they'll be able to make more money like during these Super Bowl events and stuff like that. It does bring in jobs, well, at least for the short term during this kind of event. But at the same time, it's just there's so many people that are displaced and so much money is spent on the Super Bowl. And imagine if that money were spent to give people homes in this country. You know how much it costs to go to the Super Bowl, you guys?
Lots.
It costs thousands of dollars for like the cheapest ticket. Thousands of dollars for the cheapest ticket.